What is going on, you guys? See with the video for you today. So today we're going to do a VR, and it's going to be kind of a different type of VR, something I've never heard of anyways. So it's kind of interesting. But before we do that, I'd like to give a special shout out to the channel Scoots Collectibles. Scoots is a very new channel to YouTube. I don't even think he's at 50 subscribers yet, but you know, very new, and I just kind of like to push his channel out there. Get some of you guys to check him out. I think he's right around the same age as me, so when you see his channel, he's got a lot of love for the 80s and 90s stuff, and he does tap into some pre-war as well, or not pre-war. He might tap into pre-war. I haven't seen it yet, but vintage. It seems like a very just kind, genuine dude, and I'd just like to push his channel out there and get some of you guys going on. Watch his stuff, like it, comment, let him know you're out there watching, supporting him. Link to his channel in my description. So this is going to be kind of an interesting one. So Doug's Decon, he had a big thing going on with a lot of you guys probably know about it. Some of you guys may not, but again, link to Doug's channel in my description as well. So pretty much on his VR is you got to show a 1 grade. So I don't have a lot of ones. This is honestly the only actual one I could find, my 52 Feller, which I just showed not that long ago. But as you can see, a 1 can really vary from, I don't know, like some just have like the slightest little pinhole in them, and others have creases and all that. This one's got some very light creasing going on in it, but to me, honestly, the corners look sharp. Nice looking 1 to me. So I accept 1s in my collection. I've got to be, I'm very selective on which ones I let in there for that feller. That passed my eye test, and I think that's a beautiful looking 1. I've seen some that are ripped in half and been crumpled up 15 times and has staining all over it. But that's not really what happened to Doug. Doug got kind of tricked by the seller, and man, I'm just trying to think off the top of my head how this happened. So he got tricked by the seller. The seller filtered, I think it's called filtering. I don't know. I just know how to push stop and go on the record button. I don't have any other social media besides this. They filtered out a picture and pretty much just made the picture not what the card actually is. And I mean, there's just tons of staining going. I think it's an old Tris speaker from pre-war days. I think that's what it was. And there's all sorts of staining going on in it, and the corners are just frayed to no end. I mean, the picture obviously does not look like what the card is. So Doug, long story short, Doug opened up a case with eBay and said, "Hey, this is not what I got," and passed eBay authentication. And Doug's like, "This is not what I got, or this is not what I purchased," via the pictures and all that. And a long, drug out battle went on between pretty much eBay and Doug. I don't think the seller was really involved with it. And Doug ended up winning the case against eBay, and he got the card for free, more or less, which I have honestly never heard of somebody winning a case like that against eBay. And, he did. So this is my thoughts on it. He did get what he got the card that he purchased. Obviously, it was a vintage Tris speaker, and that's what he wanted. But this is where it gets real questionable, is the card looked nothing like the photos. And that's where I actually side with Doug on this. And, everyone's like, I went back and read some of the comments, and some people are like, "Oh, this noob baseball card collector should have spotted a filtered card." And honestly, the card looked very sun faded. That's how it was kind of filtered out, was it looked sun faded. And I've seen sun faded cards, and to me, that's what it looked like. It didn't really, what do I want to say? I mean, if you compare the card that he got to the filter card, obviously it was filtered, no question about it. But before that, to me, it honestly just looked like a kind of a faded looking card that looked pretty sharp, honestly. And that's not what he got. He got a card that was all stained up and looked like it was, went through the ocean and back. And long story short, he won the case against eBay. That's crazy. Never heard of that. I would have thought they just said, "Hey, it's authentic. It's a 1. There you go. Go check out that video." And it's just probably a few videos down in his feed. Interesting topic discussion. It brought probably a lot of unwanted people to his channel, but in drama that he probably honestly didn't want. But got his channel out there, honestly, which is pretty cool. I like Doug, and I've been talking to Doug pretty much since he started showing cards on his channel, kind of starting in the COVID era, but he made content way before that. It was more of, like family type stuff. But I like Doug. Doug is a good guy. If I had to make a final decision, I agree with Doug on it. I don't think so. It was an eBay authentic card, and I agree with that part with eBay, but he did not get what he was looking at in the pictures. That's where I actually side with Doug on that. And he should have got his money back, but I don't think it should have been through eBay. I think it should have been through the seller. And what I understand is the seller was no way affected on this. So yeah, that's just my thoughts on it. But that just proves all ones do not look the same. To me, this is a sharp looking one, and I've seen ones that are been through the ringer back. But appreciate you guys watching. Please go check out Scoots Collectibles and Decon. Links to their channels in my description. Thanks again, guys. Take care and stay safe.